Hello, my friends. I'm Tom, your friend with Weapons Education. To all American patriots, if this is your first time watching, please subscribe, thumb up the video, and we have a lot of more videos coming to you all about pistols. I got over 100 new ones to the collection. Right now, we're going to do something I don't think is online yet, where they compare two Staccatos in one video. So I happen to have two of them in the collection now. I'll tell you all about it, why I purchased them, and what they're all about. Are they worth the money? Because these are among the most priciest 1911s made. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the XC. Take a look down here, please, Tammy. Thank you for your help. And zoom in on that for a moment. We're going to talk about the priciest Staccato, which I picked up, and it's all dressed up with the red dot and Surefire light and all that. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then we'll talk about what's called the P, letter P as in Paul, model. This one here. And this it's very pricey also, and it's about, I'll call this one at $3,800, almost $4,000. They're very pricey. When you price these out, take a look up, please. You price these out and you're all final done with everything, and you add on your red dot and your light if you want that stuff. And I'm going to talk about that if I'm really into that in a moment when I do the review. But it gets really pricey. The XC is going to end up costing you well over $5,000, almost $5,500. So is it worth it? These are spectacular guns, I'll say that. And is the P, is it worth it when you add on everything and you want to put a threaded barrel and all that kind of stuff on it? Yeah, it gets pricey. It's like $3,500. Gosh. Now, I make a lot of shoulder holsters. As you know, I'm Weapons Education Holsters.com. And we've been making so many of these shoulder holsters for people around across the nation. And I said, all right, I'll pick up a couple and see what it's all about, and then do a close-up review, which I'm going to do now. And I shot one of them, the XC, today. Only 100 rounds, so it's not all that much shooting through it, but I'm pretty good at this stuff. I know this trigger's phenomenal, and I'll tell you more about it. So think in your mind, why would you justify this kind of money? That's the biggest question when people go to buy a Staccato, is how do you justify that kind of money? And I'll tell you the facts that you won't see on any other video. I'm going to tell you the facts about these things and what makes them pricey, and the American patriotism from the people over there in Texas that builds them by hand. It's all really good stuff. And let's take a seat right now, and I'm going to really have you zoom in, and we're going to look close, and we're going to go through every aspect of the pistol that's important to you in case you're thinking of purchasing one. Let's do a close-up, in-depth review of the gun and see what it's all about. First of all, the fit and feel is phenomenal for a double stack. Let me get a negative out of the way in the beginning. And I called the company yesterday, as a matter of fact. I spoke to one of the reps there in marketing and said, I am going to say one negative thing, and that is that it only comes in 9mm. So that's a pretty big downer for me as far as a carry gun. But for competition, for shooting, for training, for going to the 6 Sauer Academy, it's phenomenal for that. But for self-defense, I'm trying to tell them, which they said they're open-minded to make a 10mm, or what the gun, or both, or 45, what the gun was designed for by John Browning. It's a 1911 platform. It should be 45, right? And then we want 10mm. So put your comments in and tell them to make this in 10mm. I think I think they'll have a real big winner then. But that's the negative I have. After shooting it and handling it today, I must say it really is phenomenal, a phenomenal 9mm. So it's great for competition shooting and practice. And if you want to use a 9mm for self-defense, you've got your perfect 1911 right here. It doesn't get any better than this. I've got them all. I've got the Les Bears, and I can go on and on, all about the different 1911s I have. But that's irrelevant. This is a polymer frame which is perfectly ergonomically built. The machinery on this is very special. Let's talk about that. Now, what Staccato does is in-house, they make all of their parts themselves, which is huge. Now, if you get the XC model, we're going to focus on the XC first, then I'll look at the P. The XC, the most expensive one, you're looking at about $5,000. If you get the XC competition model, one gunsmith, only one. That's it. It's not a massive company. It's not a 6 Sauer. It's not a Smith & Wesson. It's a really awesome boutique shop, kind of like myself with my shoulder holsters, having the highest quality shoulder holsters in the nation, the highest quality leather in the nation. I've made so many shoulder holsters for these Staccatos in the last year. That's why I picked these up, to tell you the truth. I'm like, what's the buzz about these things? I gotta get a couple of them. So I did. And it is spectacular. The trigger, I'll tell you right now, is 2.5 pounds. You think about that. It's a feather. Okay, so what I was saying is one gunsmith is the master at building your pistol. On the XC, not the P, on the XC. So no one else has done a video on this that I know of telling you the difference in the different levels of Staccato. I mean, how do they go from $3,000 to $5,000 and this, that, and the other? Well, the main thing is on the XC, the best model, they make this one, which the people who own it just go bonkers over. And it's this rapid fire. It feels, basically, it feels almost like fully automatic. Almost. It's pretty awesome. The recoil is nil. Now, it's only a 9mm. But the recoil is even 30% less than a normal 9mm. So how do they do that? And let me tell you some details. Besides having this compensator on the front, which is fixed here to the frame, see that? Which is really sweet. And no, flames do not come flying up in your eyeballs. No comments on that silly stuff. That's ridiculous. Okay, look at that movement on this gun. The slide is like glass. Oh, God, is it perfect. Besides the compensator, what makes the recoil so light, it's like you're shooting a .22. You don't even know you're shooting a gun, is the spring. So the spring load on this is only 8 pounds. And you got anywhere from 17 to 20 rounds to whatever your state is, maybe only 10. I doubt you would buy this in a 10-round state because it's a double stack. But you can only put 10 rounds, whatever the deal is for your state. And the P, the lower cost, not inexpensive, has a 11-pound spring. And it is not made by the one custom master gunsmith they have. They're genius over there. And that's the big difference in their other models and the XC. There you have it. You've got a gun with the XC being built for you from scratch. Now, they can't call it total custom because no one really can. The only person who has that right is John Browning, the man who designed it. He designed it as total custom. So they have to legally and honestly use the phrase semi-custom. But this is as custom to me, to myself, Tom, and Weapons Education, as a 1911 or 2011 in this case that holds a lot of rounds, double stack, as it gets. So keep that all in mind. Is the trigger. Now it's a 2.5 pound trigger, and it's light as a feather. I got this all dressed up with the Trigicon SRO, and that's like a lot of money, $600, $700, $800 for that. And the Surefire, this light here at 1,000 lumens is pricey also. So this model on the Surefire is the X300 Ultra. Okay, you've got the American flag here. And you see these lightning cuts on the slide, the lightning cuts. They are, well, to me, honestly, they're aesthetics. Could be because the barrel, which is very high quality steel, extremely high quality, is not ported, is what I'm trying to get at. It's not ported, so it's not a ported system here. But those lightning cuts, they say will reduce weight, but really kind of like the Smith & Wesson PC models, Performance Center, 1911s. You've seen on the channel if you watch the channel. They're really for aesthetics, and which is fine. That sets it apart from its sister, the P model. Now, this is an excellent system in the fact that, oh gosh, the slide is really one of the, it's the first thing I do when I pick up any pistol, is feel that, you see, and I listen to it, and I feel it, and say, all right, envision myself shooting this 1,000 times in a week, in a practice session, competition, whatever. 200-300 rounds a day at the 6 Hour Academy. Am I going to like it? Is it going to be quick? This slide is rapid fire, fast glass. Now it's a 1911. We know they like to run clean. Of course, it's a 2011 double stack. They would like to run clean, but with good ammo in this, you can actually, from everything, all the research I've had and all the people I've spoke to, it'll run even dirty perfectly. It's just so machined so well and hand fitted by their one gunsmith on the XC. Now, I'm not really knocking the P model. The one I had was almost $4,000. So we'll get to that in a moment. Then you can make your decision on what's right for you. The magwell is big, and to me that's perfect. I like it because I'm all about functionability. I want something that's going to function well, and I want a mag that I can slap in without looking at and make sure that even if I hit it on an angle in an emergency, it's going to go right in. And that's why it's so big. They thought of everything. They got their Texas Star there, American True Patriots. The grip is this gripping on, this is a polymer 1911, so it's very light, by the way, very lightweight. It's not going to hurt your hip when you're carrying this thing. The grip feels like sandpaper, but soft, almost like perfect, rubbery. They really thought it out. And it's got a dual safety, so on each side, ambi safety, which I like because you never know if you hurt your thumb or something. I've had it happen to me. I've had it happen to me at training at the SIG Academy. You hit your thumb or something for the day and it's hurt. You gotta release the safety somehow. So it's good to have it on both sides, and it is ambi. And see, it's just like glass. So Now let's look at the P model. And this one, the way it's dressed up, it's got the same Surefire X300 turbo. I think it's about 1,000 lumens if I remember right. It's super bright. And this has got the Holosun red dot, which is phenomenal. I'm going to do separate videos on the red dots. I'm not particularly a huge fan of red dots. I'm just not. I'm training my whole life with iron sights. And these are actually, honestly, going to go onto some different pistols, these red dots. And I'm going to change out the sights. So I have night sights instead of the fiber optic up front. This is all, by the way, as I look at the gun. I'd rather have night sights in the back and front instead of fiber, because at night you need night sights. But they are phenomenal sights. And with the red dot at night, you don't really need the sights, so to speak. But I'm not a red dot guy, so I tried them, and this one's never been shot. This is brand. They just got these a week ago. So the P is really just as good. You're not going to really notice the difference, to tell you the truth. But here's a big difference. You won't notice it. But the trigger on this is 4 to 4.5 pounds, which is what the Les Bears and all those other manufacturers, the Wilson Combats and all that, they're all in that range. 3.5, 4, 4.5 in that area. But 2.5 on the XC, this thing is like incredible. Incredible trigger. I do wish it was a flat trigger. Maybe we'll see that on the 10mm if they make a 10mm. And that's really what I'm asking them for, is a 10mm for Weapons Education, because this is like a 10mm channel. I love my double tap ammunition. And if you're going to run ammunition in this, by the way, run your double tap plus P, 9mm plus Ps at least, and get the most power out of your 9mm for self-defense. Those hollow points, go to double tap, and that's what you want to do. At least you got a really powerful 9mm now with modern day ammunition, or Underwood or Buffalo bore. But I tell you, that double tap stuff, that plus P is phenomenal. All right, so back to the P model. It's got the Holosun red dot. I explain. I'll switch that out. The slide it feels like almost the same slide. It's 98%. I can tell the minor difference, but not much. It feels a little tighter. Well, this is an 11-pound. It is tighter. This is an 11-pound spring, and like I said earlier, and this is an 8-pound spring. So what you have here is a company that makes all their parts in-house. They CNC everything in-house. It's not a massive company with thousands of employees. They get all American veterans making these, and these are a hot commodity. You look for these online or at your gun shops, they're hard to get. Everyone, the John Wick models from the movie, they're selling for, heck, $20,000 for the pair. $25,000, $30,000, and because it comes in a box, the commemorative edition. I mean, holy cow! The XCs. The XCs are selling for insane money because of the movie. So that helped put them on the map, and good for them. That's why I want them to make it in 10mm or 45, the way it was designed. So this one has a threaded barrel. Get yourself a threaded barrel no matter what. No matter what state you're in, because you never know your future, where this gun's going to go in the future, and who's going to... I don't sell pistols, but if you're ever going to sell it, someone might be in a state where they want a threaded barrel, and they might quiet it up a little bit, and get yourself the threaded barrel. But that adds a lot of money to it also. It just unscrews, and then you can screw in your silencer there, or actually a suppressor. So what do you think? The top of the slide is flattened, and the fit and feel is perfect. It's a 1911 that won't fail. and they make all the parts in-house. They're precision made, high quality parts, zero min parts. Not that that matters to me, but zero min parts. Perfect trigger guard, as I look at it. Both mag wells are the same, okay? And the safety on the back grip is perfect. I mean, you don't even know it's there. It's as good as it gets, by the way. That's important. It doesn't really protrude out and hit your hand, and you don't even know it's there. So it's really just at the perfect 1911 modern day, and this modern era we live. Let me know what you think. This is my first video on them. I'm going to start shooting them a lot. I plan on taking this one, and I'll take this one as a backup, but I don't think I'll need it. I plan on taking the XC up to the SIG Academy for a week and blasting about 1,000 plus rounds through it, and really put it through a so-called torture test. And I like doing that instructor course that they have up there. It's a cool deal. So let me know what you think. I have a lot of good videos coming your way. Please thumb up the video. My name is Tom, your friend. I've been with you a dozen years now at the timing of this video. Over, I don't know, 600, 700, 800 videos. I had to delete a lot of them, unfortunately. But a lot of good things coming your way. Mentioned everything. Compensator, you got it all. Please thumb up the video and like it. Thank you so much. Bye. That's as good as